Yo, what's the business? It's your local neighborhood super rig here with my boy Brizzes off in this thing. What's popping, man?
What's good, bruh?
Not a damn thing. So we started our channel after the whole beef as far as with, the back and forth of Kendrick and Arby's going back and forth. They disses. We do not have them first three videos we did though, with them not.
I don't recall going through the songs like how we gonna go through them.
Okay, because I know we had the verses and we did like 3 videos, but I don't know. It was so long ago. 2 months have flown by. Before we get started, make sure you hit that like button and also make sure you hit the join button. Go to our main page, become a culturist. All right, we have a dope back end pause where you can see videos of behind the scenes, me coming up with ideas for the show, Brish uploading his days as a tour manager and music producer with his flight crew, which I have made some songs with, got some beats with as well. We'll be uploading all kind of different kind of content back there. I'll be uploading beat making videos as well, and instrumentals and unreleased songs and some songs released and a whole bunch of stuff. We'll also be doing group streams. You get special badges and emojis you get to use on the daily live stream with Lunch with Super and the current culture live streams with me and Brisk when we do the team ones. So make sure you check out that. Also, if you into conspiracy theories and things that YouTube doesn't really like us to talk about, you can also join the Hateration Nation as well. Patreon link is below in the description. All right, so we are about to react to Kendrick 616 in LA being fully explained. Now, we could do Euphoria, but those Euphoria videos we found was like from 2 months ago. This is from 2 weeks ago. So this has got like the most updated. This is what's this dude's name? What's the Dirt? What's the Dirt got some pretty good videos.
He does.
I'm 100% vouch for the information that he puts in there. He only slipped up 1 or 2 times. Because I think we did one video.
We did one of his because he had a promo code called. It was like some pizza code. He was like, "Tell him
dirt for some food." Like, no, sir, I'm not putting that promo code in. All right, so we are about to go on and start it. See what things we may have missed in 616 in LA. Speaking of that track, where do you rank that in the track order of dopeness for you in this battle?
Oh, that's a good number 3.
Number 3. So what's your first 2?
My first one is Family Matters. Not Family Matters. Meet the Grams.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know you're supposed to say Meet the Grams, then Not Like Us, then 616.
Oh, okay. Because I was about to say, well, this video, we just it's gonna be a brand new video, bro. Because we got some discussions to have, bro. I didn't know you were feeling that way about the Family Matters being the number 1.
No, it's not the number 1. No. Yeah.
All right, bet. For me, 616 is woo. Because unlike a lot of people, I really like Meet the Grams just for the down deep below hellness of it, like the drudgery, the skullduggery of it. You remember Skullduggery from No Limit?
Yeah, dog.
I've never listened to that nigga's album and I never will. However, the imagery of it is what Meet the Grams is for me. It's just skulls and in a graveyard and R.B. reaching up with his little petite hands trying to get out as Kendrick just keep dumping dirt on him. Wow. So it's very hard, but it's in my top 3 of the diss songs for sure. All right, here we go. Let's see what you're talking about, Dirt McGirt.
Tipping away at the breakdowns for all the recent diss tracks that we got. And today we're looking at 616 in LA. Now, if you haven't watched my other breakdowns on these records, please make sure to do that, as it should offer some good insight into where we're at in the beef up to this point. And I promised my nephew I'd do this, so huge shout out to Marty. Marty wants to be a YouTuber someday, and if he wants to do it, he can do it. Don't let anyone tell you that you can't do it, okay, buddy? So right off rip, it was on Euphoria where Kendrick alluded to going back to back on Drake, and that's exactly what he did on this record, releasing 616 in LA just 3 days later.
Back to back, I like that record. I'm gonna get back to that for the record.
And this was something that I predicted over a month ago before any of the disses dropped, when all we had was the Like That record. I think Kendrick's gonna use Drake's own angle against him, and he'll probably even reference back to back while he does it. So before we even,
I mean, that wasn't like too. That was kind of obvious that was gonna happen, Dirt.
Yeah, because I remember you was like Drake, you was like Kendrick gonna drop as soon as Drake drops something else.
Oh,
You
yes,
definitely called that.
we knew he was gonna bum first or bum second, but actually first. But let's continue.
begin, we have to take a close look at the title of the track, as there's several meanings. First and foremost, the one that will jump out to any Drake fan is Kendrick's usage of the timestamp format. Drake is synonymous with timestamp titles, and it's on these records where he gets super busy with the pen. Whenever someone tries to tell me that Drake can't rap, I'll always tell them, check out one of those records, then tell me that he can't rap.
Yo, bro, he cannot rap, okay? He didn't write that shit, and he went in there. Have you not seen the Funkmaster Flex footage, bro?
he can't impromptu rap, but if it's scripted, he can rap.
I gotta disagree. All right, it's only 2 times I done heard him rap, and I didn't get sick. One was a Lil Baby song, and like I said,
the Yes Indeed record.
No, that ain't even it. It was just off the cuff. I don't even know what song. I don't even know how I found that song, but it ended up in my playlist, and it's the only song featuring Drake on my playlist because Baby snapped, and I ain't go front. Drake verse went off on it. And then Family Matters. Them the only 2 that I could stomach the way it was. Whoever wrote it so ignorantly that I was like, wow, maybe, just maybe, AI, maybe Drake did what he did to Tupac and AI the other person's voice. Had the other person actually rap it, and then that's an AI Drake voice.
I got you.
And since I'm not really hearing his voice is synthesized, it sounds much better. At least that's what I like to tell myself. Let's continue.
So this was a very strategic and petty angle from Kendrick as he attempts to taint Drake's long-running series. Even since this track dropped, we've seen multiple people claim that Kendrick's version of the timestamp was way better than any of Drake's, and this very well could have been Kendrick's goal. And let's be realistic, Drake still has by far the best timestamp records. Like he still lays claim to that. Now,
what? Just because he put a time, like he said, 6:17 in the bathroom, just because he did it, that mean it's the best? Were you aware of timestamp records before this beat started? Because I didn't even know there was a thing.
Well, I did know that he had some records that was timestamped, but I didn't know like it was a quote unquote thing. I just thought that's what he named the record on that album.
I ain't gonna lie, this Go Dirt dude, he is kind of coming off he's kind of coming off as a glacier, but we're gonna continue. He's probably being just non-biased and equal. So we're gonna continue. He's a glacier.
As far as the other meanings behind this title, there are several theories bouncing around, but I'm going to give you guys the most significant meaning and truly break down why that is. It was on June 16th, 2011 that Kendrick met Drake for the very first time. In a XXL magazine, Kendrick described the meeting saying, "I did a show in Toronto on June 16th, my first show in Toronto. I think it was the same night we were going back to the hotel and he hit my phone. I guess he got the word that I was in town. He was there for the night working on the album, and he said he wanted to meet up. We met up, chilled out, and got the vibe." Now remember, the Buried Alive track that Kendrick did for Drake was based on this moment.
Hey, you heard the Buried Alive track?
It's been a very long time. It's nothing that I can recall off memory, but I'm blown away that that's what that meant about the 616.
I never knew what it meant. I thought it was a Stone Cold Steve Austin reference or something.
Damn.
When they first met. On Buried Alive, Kendrick reflects on this meeting with Drake, mentioning how Drake introduced him to the glitz and glamour of celebrity life. Kendrick described being picked up in a Maybach by Drake and states that Drake brought him to a fancy place to eat where he talked to Kendrick about women and the industry. However, on the track, Kendrick truly struggles with the idea of becoming famous as he's afraid it will change him for the worse, but he also realizes that this type of lifestyle comes with the territory. Now, what's extremely critical to point out is how Kendrick ends off the track.
Oh, I'm so sorry, y'all. I just got to say this. Did you hear how he said out?
Yeah,
he is Canadian.
Yeah, he definitely Canadian.
That's why he be listening to Drake and think it sounds great. Wow. You know what?
When he said his nephew name, I heard it was a random accent too. I couldn't figure out what it was though.
Got you. You know what? You're not a glazer. You just being loyal to the soil, man. I can't even fault you for that, bro. Let's continue.
I like was when he said you belong to the people when you outside.
So he clearly says that's what he said. Now, who is he? Who's he talking about?
So dig a shovel full of money, full of power, full of pussy, full of fame, and bury yourself alive. Then I died.
What most people fail to realize is that these last few lines is not Kendrick speaking to himself, but Drake having a conversation with Kendrick. And this is the part that's really important. When asked by Double XL to explain the meaning of why the track ended like this, Kendrick said the following. At the end of the verse, that's him in the conversation. Him telling me that you must accept this lifestyle and it's up to you how far you're going to go with it or how much you're going to let in. I then acknowledge what he's saying when I say, then I died, which leaves it hanging on the audience trying to figure out where I would go with it. Will I let it taint me or destroy me? Or will I know how to deal with it? So, I mean, it's on this night, June 16th, where Drake is giving Kendrick a pep talk about fame, the industry, how to deal with it. This
wow.
That's like so deep, bro, because he used that, like, remember that conversation we had, Brody?
Yep. Yeah. Wow. Gee whiz, man. That's crazy.
Buried Alive interlude is important because Drake gives Kendrick a choice. He tells him that fame will come and that it's up to him on how he deals with it.
Oh, yeah. Fun fact. Didn't even know that song was on Take Care because every time I heard Drake's voice, I just skipped to the next track. Let's continue. You should have let Kendrick open the song. I would have known.
But the thing is, Kendrick wasn't the only person who needed to make this choice. This whole thing rings true for Drake as well because Drake had the exact same choice to make. And after Take Care, his fame exploded and he was completely consumed by it. Drake's lifestyle in 2024 isn't that much different from the lifestyle that he showed Kendrick back in 2011. Drake is still living that same old rapper's life. It's just on a far bigger scale. Now, in the case of Kendrick, he ended off the record making us wonder which way he'd go with it. And today, we now know what choice he made. Unlike Drake, Kendrick did not get buried by the temptations of money, power, pussy, and fame. Both artists took an entirely different route, and the Buried Alive interlude is important because it acts as a full circle moment. By Kendrick using the date June 16th in the title, Drake knows exactly what he's referring to, and bringing this up 13 years later is extremely powerful.
Wow. Talking about top notch. Ain't nothing better when you do something or like you might have some type of beef or even just like something going on between somebody and you say something that only they know. Bruh. Like they the only people that know the significance, and you can say it in front of a group of people and everybody else just go think you know y'all talking. But as soon as you hear them say that, you be like, this motherfucker here.
Bruh, like I already was a huge Kendrick fan, but like the more and more I hear about like this stuff and how he put stuff together, man, I just become a even bigger fan.
Bro, I always get into it beating people with the comments where they be like, yo, you a Kendrick fan, a glazer. I'm like, yo, I'm just a Drake hater. But just like what you said, the more and more he already cracked my top 10. He has cracked my top 10. He might crack my top 5 of, I have a list called, in my mind, it's called the foundational top 5, meaning this ain't got nothing to do with who I listen to the most. This taking all my personal stuff out of nothing, just objectively the dopest. And he is he's probably done crept up in there just off of this alone. It's and not even rap. I'm talking about artists.
Yeah.
Like artists. This ain't even my top 5 rap artists. This is just artist list. Let's continue, man. This is wow.
Kendrick proved to have the strength to resist the temptations that Drake warned him about, and Drake himself was weak and couldn't do the same. Now, I gotta say, Drake flips this narrative really well on Family Matters, but that one's coming up next. So when we get a track like Euphoria, all these years later, the shit that he's saying to Drake is all the more impactful.
I'm allergic to the lame shit, only you like being famous.
Fans might take lines like this one lightly, but it holds a lot of depth because Kendrick knows that when he first met Drake, Drake had plans of keeping a level head, as that's what their conversation was about. This is only further confirmed in the Double XL interview when he talks about Drake and the concept of the Buried Alive track. I felt like he was in a space now where vanity's everywhere, and he had his hands on every bit of it, and he's trying to escape that. But what's clear today is Drake lost this fight. I mean, he didn't escape it at all.
It's a 2004 Acura TSX. It's a nice first car for like a teenager, I guess, as opposed to a Mercedes or BMW. I think
what people fail to realize in this clip was it was fucking 2004. That was still a brand new ass car.
He talking shit about it's not
a
teenager car.
Yeah. Now it might have been 2005, but I know for a fact that car was no older. You know what? I'm gonna give a grace of 2 years. That car was no older than 2 years old. How many teenagers of the 85% ride around in 2-year-old car? But I really think it was like 2004, 2005 when this was recorded. So anyway, we're gonna keep going.
that's pretentious, personally.
And this is exactly why Kendrick uses June 16th in the title and why it's so significant. It's by far the most significant use of the title. 616, the day that they first met, the first collaboration they did, Drake's sophomore album, an entire record was made about that moment. Now we're 13 years later, and it's coming up again. And like I said, Drake knew exactly what he was doing with this title, because just days after 616 in LA dropped, Drake posted a Buried Alive Part 2 parody song where he mocks Kendrick and flips the narrative again.
If you in a pine box, that's how you felt in 2011 while we wasting time. Dreams come true, Crody. This is where you die.
That's what that was. You remember that was
drop?
That was he dropped that on the on his Instagram. I believe it was either his Instagram or YouTube. And a lot of people don't really talk about this stuff. There was a little like snippet of a song, which this was it right here that dropped. And this was like right before but this was kind of like separate from Family Matters, but it was on his social media.
I definitely did. I don't remember that.
Yeah, and I remember just thinking in my head, this dude is a hoe. Let's continue.
Let's fucking go. Come on, hit the like button. However, 616 in LA could possibly be in reference to allegations of Drake being involved with younger women. As you guys know, Drake goes by the 6 God, and 16-year-old girls for him might just be prime real estate. That is the allegations. Allegations. Now, this is only further supported when we look at a young woman by the name of Bella Harris. Bella is an LA-based model who, even at the age of 13, stood at a height of 5'10", and she skipped the teen division of modeling and moved directly up to the women's division. So get this, at the age of 13, this child is being like categorized and showcased as a full-grown woman.
When I was about 13, I was really tall. I was like 5'9", and everyone's like, oh my God, how old are you? I'm 12 and 13.
And back in 2018, the internet went crazy as Drake was spotted with a then 18-year-old Bella taking pictures that resembled that of a happy couple. This shit feels like teenage fever. However, Drake has ties with Bella that dates back to 2016, and given Kendrick's angle throughout this beef, I think this is what he's talking about. This is a picture of Drake and Bella at Rihanna's Anti-World Tour. As you can see, the date of this photo is May 5th, 2016, and when we look at Rihanna's tour history, she was indeed in LA for that date. Then when we look at the fact that Bella had literally just turned 16, just 1 month before this photo was taken, it's all the more compelling. 616 in LA, Drake the 6 God was indeed with a 16-year-old girl in LA. And
Bruh.
Now, with that being said, we already got footage of this dude asking a girl how old she was, and it didn't matter to him. He still was go slobbing down on stage. But this is just Kendrick is just on some
next level shit, bro. Like that quadruple entendre is not even this dude got infinity entendres with everything he put out. This is crazy.
Like, I'm really questioning my intelligence. Like, I don't think I'm really smart enough to listen to Kendrick Lamar. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I'm starting to see why Drake fans be so upset now, because it's just as he goes as he keeps saying, I can go deeper, I promise, down the rabbit hole. You start realizing that this man's brain is not in the same stratosphere as the rest of ours. It's wow. Let's continue. And how he gonna drop a bomb like this after just keep saying allegedly, and then you come in with some damn super hardcore damn near.
Hold on. Don't start it. Is that the bottom of an owl on his tattoo on his arm? It's hard to tell.
I don't know. I think it might be a penguin. I do know this Captain America over here, and he got a this is a box set of Ready to Die Biggie Smalls over here in the corner. So I gotta give him respect. Like I said, he batting for the home team for the Drizzles. So let's continue, man. You almost slipped there, Dirt. I have, a couple of times. We done had to say this dude twice. Let's continue.
I mean, Kendrick said he had 5 more diss tracks in stock, and I believe him. I think he was about to get far deeper into this shit had this thing kept going. Furthermore, Kendrick dropped the record at 6:16 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, which is 6:16 in LA. Then we got the fact that June 16th is Tupac's birthday, and considering that we've seen a few references to Pac in this beef already, this one seems to make sense.
Kendrick, we need ya.
Next, June 16th is Father's Day, and we have seen a slew of references with respect to Drake and being a shitty dad, and also jabs towards the fact that Drake's own father was absent.
You don't know nothing about that.
And of course, Drake also executive produced the hit show Euphoria, and the first episode of that show aired on June 16th. And that's as far as I'm.
Bruh, what the fuck? Kendrick is AI, bro.
Facts. Like he's not a human.
What the hell?
And if he ain't a human, he got to be if he ain't AI, if it's not a machine, he like a spirit or something. Like he might be ayahuasca in the flesh.
Think about how long he been sitting on this, seething, waiting for the moment to just let all this out.
Bro, he probably wrote this June 17th after that little girl turned 16 in one day. He was like, finally the stars have aligned. It all matches now. I can he might have predicted the shit on the June 6th. He might have wrote this shit after they dinner. He might have wrote this shit immediately after the dinner and did some shit where I can see him doing this with one of his homeboys. He wrote a dope rap, put it in an envelope, and he gave it to Top and was like, Top was about to open. He was like, no, don't open this until 13 years later.
Hey, I went down with this man. This dude is wild, bro.
Dude, he might have literally traveled to this time, recorded all of this shit, then went back in time, put it in the envelope. Cause bro, let's keep going, dude.
I'm gonna go with the title. There's a lot of theories out there, but these are the ones that.
And that was just the title.
With all that said, let's move on to the artwork, which is simply a cropped out version of the artwork that we would see on Meet the Grams, where Kendrick allegedly had an inside mole collecting Drake's personal items and feeding him information. And this whole thing with the artwork and these items, like this turned into this really grew legs after. It turned into this whole other conversation. So we've got the title, we've got the artwork. Now let's move to the beat selection. First and foremost, the track is co-produced by
before we get to the beat selection, the artwork stuff, when that Nubian Prince or whatever jumped on Reddit and Twitter and stuff, was tweeting all about how they got the stuff from the hotel and stuff. Man, I'm talking about I ain't get no sleep. I ain't get no sleep reading them threads and stuff. But let's go on and get to the producer.
Jack Antonoff, who is a pop producer most known for his work with Taylor Swift. This is likely a troll on Drake's previous claims on Taylor Made, where he insinuated that Taylor Swift had all this power over Kendrick. Now, what I feel Kendrick is really trying to drive home here by using this producer is that just like the culture of hip hop, even high-level people within the industry itself do not like Drake and are more than happy to help bring him down. I think Kendrick's just leaning into it. Like, yeah, I am friends with Taylor, and she's
Nobody likes this nigga.
I'm with the coach's feeling.
I love it. Let's continue.
signing this diss. She doesn't like you. Her producer doesn't like you. Nobody likes you. Like, this is a tailor-made diss for you. The instrumental samples Al Green's song What a Wonderful Thing Love Is, and Drake's Uncle Teeny Hodges is credited as playing guitar on that record. However, what makes it even more impressive is the fact that Kendrick sampled Teddy Pendergrass on Euphoria, and now he's sampling Al Green, and they both had an album together called Back to Back Hits, feeding even more into Kendrick's claims that he was going back to back on Drake.
Dude. Like, what is happening here? He sampled two people that had a joint album called Back to Back.
What the
Told Drake he was going back to back, which he did with Euphoria and Friday Morning. Tuesday was Euphoria, Friday Morning was this back to back. And then to thread it all the way back to this is no way.
And Drake uncle played on one of the tracks. On one of the tracks that he sampled.
And I ain't gonna lie, I was waiting on him to say he played on both of them. Because you know what? I probably would have turned off the camera and just went, I need to lay down somewhere because this is just too much. Jeez Louise.
I need to get my life together and be a little more strategic in my life.
I'm failing. I'm a failure. I am a failure. Let's continue, bro. Gee whiz.
And people say that Kendrick fans are reaching all the time, but this is clearly thought out. I mean, these records were very, very well planned. With all that,
and he like Drake, and he ain't reaching.
Nah, this is wild, bro.
This is wild. This is the amount of reach that's happening right now, y'all. This is the amount of reach. Like, this is just puzzle pieces put together. Jeez Louises, man. Let's go, man. Damn.
That said, we can now finally get into the lyrics of the song. Actually, I'm just kidding. No lyrics yet, because did you hear that noise? Like, what in the fuck is that? People were claiming that this sound was from the V12 liposuction machine.
I ain't gonna lie, I was in that group of people like, damn, he got the liposuction sucking out this. I thought it was that, or he was in a submarine or something. It was one of them two, and obviously submarine had nothing to do with Drake. Unless just how deep he was gonna go on Drake or something like that.
Yeah.
But when I heard the V12 machine, though, I jumped on that, but I was like, we going there? Yes, it's the V12 machine. I'm riding with it.
It made sense.
And there goes the reach. I guess I did. I did start getting my Stretch Armstrong there for a second. Let's continue.
Which was something that Kendrick referenced on Euphoria. But when you really listen to that machine in action, it doesn't sound like this at all.
Shout out to the Dirt for getting footage of the machine for comparison.
Dirt got some good videos, bro.
This is crazy. Wow. Shout out to you, dude. That is dedication.
And the main reason why this video took so long is because I got extremely subject stuck on finding out what the sound was. First, I thought that it could be a money counter. I thought maybe it's a lie detector test. Then I was thinking it was one of those old 16 mil projectors. Then I was thinking maybe it could be a life support machine. I was manipulating an equalizer, changing the pitch, adding plugins, still couldn't narrow it down. And if it wasn't for my girlfriend, I would probably still be doing it right now because she had to tell me, look, Matt, it's time to move on. it drove me crazy because there's no way that Kendrick's looping that sound for as long as he did, and it means nothing. Like, it means something.
Yeah.
And Drake's probably the only one who's going to pick up on it. However, something I do feel fairly confident about is that if you really listen to the beat closely, Kendrick chooses to chop up the Al Green sample and loops it so that it sounds like he's saying, "Boy Wonder." Now, you got to remember, this track is in response to the Push Ups record, where Drake sampled the drop from Who Kid. And as we know now, this drop turned out to have a hidden message that flew over all of our heads, as Drake will later announce that Kendrick's child might not be his.
Did not know that.
Oh.
Did not know that. Wow.
Okay, Drake people.
All right. Hey, gotta give credit where credit is due. That's pretty dope. That's pretty dope.
I heard that one of them little kids might be day free.
And for that reason,
every time I hear that line, bro.
Day free. Hey, I ain't gonna front though. You know how we was just talking about how we been reciting just random lines from Kendrick and stuff. Yep. I do just randomly say that, but I always laugh after I say it because it's just like I always picture him in the studio reading it just like he was like day free.
He was lit off that line.
In the OVO camp, the niggas over there, they going crazy and shit. They like, yeah, that's the one. That's it. You killing them, nigga.
And in the background, they're like, hey, bro, who Dave Free?
Who is that? Why? Did you write this? You didn't write it? He wrote that shit. Let's continue.
Reason I feel like it's on this track where Kendrick is using one of Drake's close producers to also send some sort of message. By using this little sample, I feel like Kendrick is trying to get inside Drake's head to cast doubt on who the mole could be in his camp. Drake commonly refers to himself as the boy, and in this case, I think Kendrick is asking Drake to think. Kendrick got the boy wondering, like, I wonder who's leaking all my info. I wonder who's the mole. Like, boy, I wonder who's doing all this shit.
All right, so let's be reality right now. Do you think that's a reach, or you think?
I think that's a little reach.
I think that's a little. As somebody who samples a lot, sometimes you just catch something. Now, with that being said, let's say Soundwave and the other guy and Kendrick did not sit and make this beat together, and they just sent him a batch of beats, and maybe Kendrick heard that. I have looped some stuff up and heard some stuff. However, I will put this on the Mr. Fantastic list. Let's continue.
So right off rip, Kendrick references Drake's track Survival. Now, Survival came at a time when Drake was fresh off his loss from Pusha T, and he was still heavily...
Did you know that there was a sample? A Drake sample? It's Survival? I didn't know that.
Beefing with Pusha and Kanye at this time. As you guys remember, Drake allegedly had a career-ending...
I ain't gonna lie, they did Kanye dirty in this picture right here. He could have clearly picked another picture, but...
red button diss for Pusha and Kanye, but he held it back, and it's on the Survival track where he appears to make mention to wanting to drop it.
I was about to... Man, I thought about it. It's unsettling to talk about it.
So Drake leaves a blank in this record, and it's up to the listener to interpret what this could mean. But the way that I see it, he was either talking about putting a hit on Pusha and Kanye, or he just really wanted to drop that track, but it was so scathing that it was unsettling for him to even think about where he was about to go with it.
So first off, that was not the first one is a
definitely reached that. He talking about put a hit, like when he say a hit, like a hit song, or like a hit, like hire a hitman hit.
You want to know something? Let's go in the realms of the land of make believe. I could hear him sitting there. He's like, Jay Prince, I'm so mad. I could just do anything. Can you get him killed? Can you do that? And he done tried to transfer that into, I was gonna put a hit out on your ass. No, nigga. And Jay Prince was like, shut your bitch ass down, man. Shit, dude. Damn. And no, we ain't gonna do that dumbass song you recorded, man. And then he took his ass out there and did the damn the apology tour, the non-apology apology tour.
Simply because it crossed the line of music.
Either way, the common denominator in this case with respect to Kendrick is the fact that Drake is now saying the exact same thing to him. Again, Drake is making claims that he has some lethal secret, threatening to drop it.
This ain't even everything I know, don't wake the demon up.
However, Kendrick's own senses are telling him that Drake is lying, as he claims that he thinks, smells, and sees the bullshit coming. And just like the alleged held back Pusha diss, Kendrick claims he sees no fire.
And I ain't gonna lie, if you saying some shit like that, bro, if you saying some shit like that, you gotta actually have something.
You talking
like,
about, well, I think he had something on Kanye. I think he's gonna come out talking about how he smashed Kim K, some stuff like that. Probably gonna even have audio of it to put in the diss track.
Let's be real. When it comes to Kanye, Kanye do shit that the average person won't want out there, and that's a part of his regular life. I'm not having my broad out there, titties hanging out, and for him, that's not disrespect. So he could have dropped a whole sex tape on Drake could have dropped a whole sex tape, him smashing Kim K, and Kanye could have said some shit like, "Look, first off, I recorded that. Second off, I jack off to it every day. What's new?" Let's continue.
I feel like he's saying you were bullshitting then. Now you're trying to pull the same stunt again. You're full of it.
Off-white Sunseeker had the marina. Fuck a phantom, I like to buy yachts when I get the fever.
So right away here, any seasoned Drake fan will tell you that when it comes to timestamp records, Kendrick is clearly matching Drake's subject matter stylistically.
Is there more to life than going on trips to Dubai? Yachts on the 4th of July, G5 soaring skies. Roll big body, wide body, Calabasas road winder, sun shining, wax tires.
But here's the thing, I don't think Kendrick's rapping from his own perspective here at all. I think he's rapping as if he were Drake. 13 years ago, Kendrick ended off the Buried Alive verse speaking in the perspective of Drake, and I feel he's now circling back to do that again.
Off-white Sunseeker had the marina. Fuck a phantom, I like to buy yachts when I get the fever.
So rapping in the perspective of Drake, he says off.
Now I ain't want to cut this off, but the only reason I don't think that is accurate is because I want to say it was a Joe Budden diss or something, but apparently Drake's favorite car is a Phantom. And he used to rap about wanting a Phantom, and he used to rent a Phantom until he could actually buy one.
I do remember that story. So what about the yacht, though? The fact that he mentioned a yacht like that.
I think Kendrick got a fucking yacht, and he take his family out to go fishing off the side of that bitch. I don't think, to me, that was more of a, I interpreted it as more of a nigga, I'm good as far as this. As far as my life and all of the shit you talk about, nigga, fuck a Phantom, nigga. This is what I like to do with my money and shit. However, how many times have you heard Kendrick rapping about this type of shit?
Like never.
So it's kind of like, I don't know. Let's listen to the rest of it. Maybe he'll change my thought process. But I thought the fuck a Phantom was, nigga, you buying Phantoms, I'm buying yachts and shit. But who knows? Let's continue.
White Sunseeker. Now, this would be in reference to one of Drake's close friends, Virgil, who not only had the designer brand Off-White, but also during a 2022 Louis Vuitton fashion show, the background music for that show was an album by Tyler, the Creator, called Sunseeker. And this was Virgil's baby. This was his show. He directed it, and rest in peace to Virgil. Secondly, a Sunseeker at the marina is in reference to a company called Sunseeker, which is a builder of luxury yachts. But in the next line, things only get deeper. In the second line, Kendrick, from the perspective of Drake, claims that he's tired of buying Phantoms and now likes to buy yachts when he gets the fever. First and foremost, you got to think about this. Kendrick does not rap about flaunting a lavish lifestyle. He doesn't own a yacht. He's not one for buying yachts. This is just so far outside of the subject matter in his music and what he represents. And that is because he is rapping as if he were Drake. I don't.
That's why they pay get the dirt, the big bucks.
Yeah.
He literally shut down everything that I was thinking, and it makes perfect sense that he was rapping from Drake's perspective. Wow. Is his name Get the Dirt? Did I get that wrong?
Something dirt. I just know dirt.
You know, he's so hard. I gotta respect it. What's the dirt?
Pause. The hell out of a pause.
My apologies.
Damn. That was like level. That was level 1 violation.
I'm gonna offend some people. That requires a no homo. Let's continue.
Yeah.
Believe that this first chunk of the verse is from Kendrick's perspective at all. A Phantom is a model of car from Rolls-Royce that Drake not only owns multiple variations of, but he's mentioned the Phantom in at least 10 different tracks over the years, maybe even more.
Now I'm in the Rolls with illuminated angel. All my Rolls Royces got a different body. Facts. Bought a white ghost, now shit is getting spooky. Leg hanging out the Phantom.
However, Kendrick is painting it as if the Phantom is no longer scratching the itch for Drake. He needs to go bigger, which is exactly what he did when he rented the Ocean Corel yacht in 2022.
No one will say for sure how much Coral Ocean is worth, but I can tell you it's well north of $100 million.
When Drake rented this yacht, he was going all over the place. Like, he was traveling everywhere. Now, here's where things take a turn and get a lot darker. Following up on his previous line about yachts, he claims that he likes to buy yachts when he gets the fever, and the Fever is another builder of luxury yachts. This is where it goes left. The Sunseeker has another line of yachts called the Predator, and as we know, Drake has a song called Teenage Fever. Now, where it gets crazy is when we look at Drake's relationship with Millie Bobby Brown. Here she is with Drake on a yacht at the young age of 13. This photo was taken in 2017, shortly after his More Life album dropped, which had the track Teenage Fever, and coincidentally enough, the media was categorizing the More Life album as yacht rap. Now, to put the cherry on top, where was this picture taken? At a marina. Think about it. Sunseeker has a yacht called the Predator. Drake's More Life album was being called yacht rap. It had a track called Teenage Fever. He's with a 13-year-old girl on a yacht, and in this picture, they're at a marina. This is not a coincidence at all. It's not. And Kendrick drops plenty of little clues here just in how he pronounces certain words. And if you pay attention to how he says, I like to buy yachts, he's actually making a reference to Dubai yachts.
Fuck a Phantom, I like to buy yachts when I get the fever.
Is there more to life than going on trips to Dubai? Yachts on the 4th of July.
And back in 2015, Drake was very happy to announce that he was on a yacht in Dubai. And if you're familiar with Kendrick's catalog, you'll know that he does shit like this a lot in his writing.
Wine cooler spill on my white t-shirt, the sightseer.
So again, Kendrick is rapping as if he were Drake. Not only does Kendrick hardly ever drink, but when he does drink, it's exclusively wine.
Yeah, I drink a little bit.
What's your preferred beverage?
Just wine. Like Jesus.
What about, have you ever?
Now,
look, you right. This dude AI, he plugged into the matrix or whatever you want to call it. He just pulling out, you know, what the hell? What the hell?
This is next level shit, bro.
This is last level shit.
Definitely last level.
This
shit,
is Bowser King Cooper level 8 shit. This is Mike Tyson Punch Out. You reach Mike Tyson shit.
Damn, bro. Like, why would anybody fucking with this dude on some rap battle shit? This is not very bright.
Anybody fucking with this dude about any fucking thing, I wouldn't even. What if I see this nigga took my parking space? You got it, Kendrick. No, you got it.
Hey, we might need to delete that shit when we was talking about what Drake need to do to win. The only thing Drake can do to win.
Yes, let's get that out the way. Sorry about. We apologize about that. I'm gonna be honest. It was Brisk's idea. Let's keep going.
There is a huge difference in wine and wine coolers. Most men do not drink wine coolers. I'm talking about fruity drinks with soda and tons of.
Not at that age.
Nah.
I ain't gonna lie. As I get older, though, I will sip a fruit. But I'm old now, so I can drink. I'm there with my wife, so I got an excuse. When they bring the fruity drinks out, I could be like, you know, This hers. I take, I can take a sip or whatever. But just sitting alone by myself, walking around with a fruity drink.
No, I remember it was this one time we was in St. Louis. It was like 4 of us at a table. So everybody ordered a drink. Like, let me get a Hennessy on the rocks. Let me get this. And the fourth person, I'm about to tell you who it is after the thing. The fourth person was like, let me get an amaretto sour. Everybody looked at him and was like, bro, what the hell you doing, man?
Hey, wait. Hey, but Camp Blow rapped about drinking the amaretto.
Amaretto sour?
I don't know.
Or amaretto.
What's the difference?
So amaretto is a liquor. Amaretto sour is a drink that you mix with some, it's like some sour mix or whatever. But at this time, we were like 25.
Oh, okay. And also, this is very important. Does any umbrellas or something come in it?
No, I don't think no umbrellas came in that one. And that's like I said, we was at 25 because I wouldn't drink an amaretto sour. I wouldn't order an amaretto sour just because the sour is not my thing.
Yeah.
But I definitely will order a fruity drink now.
I'll be honest. Back then, it was just anything that had some kind of. If it came with a real straw, like it bend over like this straw, what is you doing? I don't know how you gonna get home, but it's not gonna be with us. Let's continue.
Of sugar. Kendrick.
Shout out to the patriarchy and the masculinity, the toxic masculinity. Let's continue.
Uses little keywords like this to let the listener know that this is not his life we're talking about.
Wow.
Kendrick's not drinking wine coolers, guys. Drake is the guy that loves wine coolers. That's pretty much all.
I'm be honest. I never paid attention to that part of the bar enough to associate wine coolers with Kendrick. Like, I never was like, oh, he talking about drinking wine coolers.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Or maybe I did. It was just like, when he about to start shitting on Drake soon. I don't care. Wow, dude. This was the dirt, dude, man. You last level, bro. I got to give you your props. Let's continue.
All he drinks. And what's even more interesting is how wine coolers became his beverage of choice in the first place.
Were you drinking white wine spritzer?
I was. That's my drink of choice. It's basically my mother had a friend who I was always sort of like infatuated with. We used to go to her house and be poolside, and she used to like fill up a white wine spritzer and she would like casually slide it and leave it there. And then she'd just show up with another one. And I always felt like she was trying to send me a message. So I've kept that a consistent theme. How we get it.
First off, I got a question for you, bro. How you was seeing these interviews, bro, and thought this dude music was listenable?
I never seen this interview.
I'm talking about he like this in every single interview.
Yeah, I ain't never seen that in his interviews.
Second off, he basically said
he definitely told us
somebody was trying to date rape him, and now he date raping broads.
He definitely told on his mom friend.
Wow, this dude is a freak ass nigga. Let's continue. You know something else though? That I'm thinking about it. Maybe what's the dirt? Go bring it up. Wine coolers always remind me of one of the accusations that was made against my. Sorry, Mike, but I couldn't rock with this one. The people was talking about how when he would be out, one of the kids said that he offered them alcohol but called it Jesus juice. And to me, a wine cooler falls into the Jesus juice category or something that a kid could probably drink and not it hit him in the head like some E and J.
I drank some Boone's Farm when I was a kid. I think that's considered a wine cooler.
I'm pretty sure it is. It actually was fruity malt liquor, if you want to be super scientific about it. All right, let's continue.
She was trying to send that's completely inappropriate. How old were you?
I don't know, like 15. But
So I've kept that a consistent theme.
And take a good guess at who else loves wine coolers. Teenage girls, right? And coincidentally enough, with respect to this line, a 17-year-old Madison Beer attended Drake's Memorial Day party in 2016, and she shared the following story.
I met him actually like 2 years ago at his Memorial Day party. The funniest thing about Drake is he drinks wine spritzers. Like, that's all he drinks. I was like, can we go to the bathroom in your room? I was like, I just really don't want to wait on this line. And he was like, yeah, of course. And this girl had like a vodka cranberry or something in her hand, and she tripped and fell and spilled all over Drake, like all over his like white sweatsuit.
At this point in time, Madison had just turned 17 2 months prior, And this only acts as further proof that Drake seems to allow much younger girls at his parties.
And did she say something about going to the bathroom?
She did say something about the bathroom, and that's why Kendrick was talking about he spilling something on his white shirt.
Yowzers. Yeah, yowzers.
Bruh. Damn.
Let's continue, man. Jeez, Los Weezos.
Madison claims that Drake loves wine coolers and then states that someone spilt the drink all over his white outfit. Kendrick seems to have been gathering this information about Drake for a very long time. And on this track, I feel like he's sending subtle reminders that most of us wouldn't catch.
Fun fact though, his house that he has a bathtub that is literally the size of this room. And it's gigantic and so dope. I was like sitting in it. I was like, can I just lay here and like chill?
I even
What? Why do you have a 17-year-old girl chilling in your bathtub, bro?
Wow. This dude is a straight up predator.
Yeah.
Wow.
Appears to be, bro.
Gee whiz.
Found some footage of this exact Drake Memorial Day party where you can tell that the women in attendance, to me, don't really look like grown women.
Them is kids. Them look like my daughter's friends.
Bruh.
Them kids.
Bruh.
Them is kids. And we can only assume.
And they drinking.
Yeah, we can only assume that is a amaretto sour in them cups.
Now are they in Canada? Because in Canada you can drink at 18. Well, they're not even 18. Damn. That's wild, bro.
Wow.
I mean, come on, guys. Like, I'm a fair man, but like, I'm not even assuming here. Like, these are clearly teenagers, right? And when he talks about wine coolers, he's talking about shit like this. Following up on the previous line, Kendrick writes for Drake by calling himself a sightseer, which is exactly what Drake was doing in 2022 when he rented that $50 million yacht. Here he is in St. Bart's at a New Year's Eve yacht party, and what we can easily conclude about this party is that teenage girls were definitely in attendance because there's clear evidence of this happening.
I got back from St. Bart's on Monday. Basically, it was an after party that we got invited to. It was on the Vava. So many cool people there. We talked with Drake for a little bit.
This girl was born on February 5th, 2004, which would mean she was only 17 years old during this yacht party.
That's only 2 years older than my daughter.
Bruh.
That's crazy.
I was just in St. Bart's with Drake and that 150 supermodels, in it.
And I think that Kendrick knows something about these parties. I do.
Trifecta, money, morals, and culture. That's my leisure.
In the second line, Kendrick says trifecta, money, morals, and culture. That's my leisure. And again, this has nothing to do with Kendrick as he continues to rap as Drake here. First off, the definition of a trifecta pertains to gambling on horses, where to win, you need to guess the 3 winning horses in order. That means that in the case of this line, money would come first, morals would come second, and culture will be last. This is how we can easily rule Kendrick's own perspective out, as money is definitely not his first priority. Again, it's little things like this where it's clear to me that
hold on, bro. It's a lot to take in just how crazy this nigga Kendrick really is. This is just, I'm gonna be honest, chills. I'm getting chills. This dude is like last level, man. Wow. Let's keep going.
He's not rapping from his own perspective here.
Really, money really don't make me. I'm learning that now. You know, that's not really my peace of mind, having money.
In the case of the line as it pertains to Drake, money is seemingly at the forefront of everything that he does. He's willing to put aside morals and culture to get it. This explains why morals and culture come in second and third place within the trifecta. At the end of the day, those two things will never really matter for Drake, as money will always dictate his every move regardless. So, I mean, when we look at a trifecta by definition, like what it means, the line makes literally no sense pertaining to Kendrick.
My visa, passport tatted, I show up in Ibiza.
Once again, I'm not sure how this would ever pertain to Kendrick, as he never raps about shit like this, and there's no documented proof that he has ever been to Ibiza. Not only that, Ibiza is known.
All right, I gotta, it's two things he done said in this video that has just unlocked my spider senses. Earlier, he said there's no record, or he might not even say a record. He said Kendrick doesn't own any yachts.
Correct.
And here, he just said there's no record of him ever going to Ibiza.
Mm-hmm.
As crazy as he's figuring all of this out. And here we go.
Uh-oh. You got to pull it out, huh?
Now, that was a pause.
That was definitely a huge pause. That was terrible, man. My bad, man. My bad.
What if, because I ain't go front, bro. You could have the mystery van, Scooby-Doo, Inspector Gadget, the Pink Panther, fucking Sherlock Holmes. As deep as he getting, I wouldn't be surprised. Remember that envelope I told you that Kendrick gave to one of his homeboys back in 2000? I wouldn't be surprised if he was like, you know what? I'm gonna get one of his Canadian fucking land lovers to fucking break this shit down for everyone, so that even his home country, out their own mouth, cannot doubt what it is. I believe this motherfucker got an anonymous motherfucking envelope from none other than the boogeyman with all of the breakdown. Because
this is amazing, bro.
I'm not seeing anybody, and I'm not trying to insult your investigation skills. Matter of fact, I'm gonna be honest, bro. If your investigation skills this strong, the government probably is following you up the dirt. And if they not, they should be.
Yeah, because bro was in there, bro. Like I can't. And the stuff making sense. He's showing the receipts to why it makes sense.
Dude, I'm just floored. I'm be honest though. Fuck that hat. I think he got a package from the damn from the Boogeyman Inc. nigga, because this is just too insane. Let's continue.
Known as the party capital of Europe, which doesn't really seem to be a place that fits into his lifestyle. When we look at how Kendrick structured and set up this first verse, it only makes sense from Drake's perspective, as he was in Ibiza on that exact same yacht. And Drake has referenced Ibiza in his music many, many times.
Grab by Lisa, bring her to Ibiza. Appealing Ibiza, so what? She took dick in Ibiza. We went to Ibiza.
And this whole infatuation.
I ain't gonna lie, that she took dick in Ibiza line sounds like he's talking about a teenager. You filthy, dirty bastard, you. Let's continue.
Situation with Ibiza for Drake, this is new. He never talked about it before in his music. It's only these recent years where he's been bringing it up a lot. It's almost like Ibiza has become Drake's new favorite hub. And if you listen to how Kendrick enunciates this line, that's exactly what he says.
That's your hub in Ibiza, your hub in Ibiza.
And I don't know why Drake loves Ibiza.
And I ain't gonna lie, I heard it back and it sounded like hub to me before. Yeah. I ain't even bullshitting you.
That's wild.
That is wild.
So much, but maybe Kendrick does. And again, in very recent times, Drake referenced a tatted passport in his music.
My visa passport tatted.
I tatted your passport up.
So this all ties and flows perfectly together in reference to Drake and how he lives his life. And given the fact that Kendrick rapped from Drake's perspective on Buried Alive, and this track is called 616 in LA, which was the date that they first met and the concept of that record, Kendrick is doing the same here. And the concept of the Buried Alive track is just as important for Family Matters, which we are doing next.
Luke Cali's dwellings in Brooklyn just to book me some pizza.
Kendrick continues to replicate the subject matter that Drake showcases on these timestamp records. If you heard Drake say a line like this straight from his mouth, you wouldn't second guess it, as it fits perfectly into the style of his pen.
Eating like I'm seated at Swiss Soto and Yosos. Catering is from Giorgio Bardi, Robin's favorite.
He nailed it. It is bang on how Drake raps on these tracks. Bang on.
That must be like a Canadian term. Bang on. That was bang on.
Yeah, I never heard that phrase either.
I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna use that in a public setting around a certain group of people and see what type of response I get. Let's continue. I'm like, have you been traveling?
Cali's
like, yes, I have.
Weddings in Brooklyn just to book me some pizza.
It's just the way he enunciates shit is very cryptic. Like, he doesn't even say pizza. He says pizza.
Just to book me some pizza.
and book me some pizza is weird too. Like there's
I ain't gonna lie, that's just how black folks say pizza. I say pizza like that. The fuck? My kids, they be like, "Can we have some pizza?" I'm like, "Yeah, we can have some pizza." Maybe he about to break it down deeper, but I'm gonna just say from a cultural point of view. So I've always heard it pronounced. I ain't never heard the 2 Z's for real.
Yeah,
it's 2 S's.
shit in here that Drake is only gonna get. And on Euphoria, remember, Kendrick said that he hates the way that Drake sneak disses people.
I hate the way that you sneak this. If I catch flight, it's gonna be direct.
And what Kendrick means by that is Drake will diss someone and only his intended target will pick up on it. And due to the fact that Kendrick is mirroring his style and writing from Drake's perspective on a timestamp titled record, this first verse is riddled with shots at Drake that only he understands. And that's why the beginning of this record doesn't even sound like a diss, because he's writing in the style of Drake. There's no clear shots to us, but he's dissing Drake the way that Drake disses. And because Drake has been at this pizzeria in Brooklyn before, this is just another clue that Kendrick has given us that he's writing this verse from Drake's perspective.
God, my confession is.
Before we even get to that part, I was thinking for the longest, and tell me if you had this same. I was just like, that first verse, I just thought maybe he just, was like, maybe this was another different song. And then he tacked on the Drake shit at the end. That's really what I thought it was.
I thought he was just warming up or something. I thought it wasn't no part of the diss at all. I definitely had no clue.
Dude, yeah, speechless. Continue.
And now we get to the point where I feel Kendrick does indeed switch perspectives back to himself, as it's at this moment where he starts to sing. And when you think about Drake's timestamp records, he doesn't really sing on those tracks at all.
It's because Drake can't sing.
God, my confession is yours.
Now, I saw that people tried to paint this line as if Kendrick was conflicted on whether or not he should go to war with Drake. But honestly, Kendrick has wanted this battle with Drake for a very long time.
But who am I if I don't go to war?
I don't think he's conflicted about the war itself, but he knows where he's about to go with this thing, and he's more or less confessing to God before he even puts his plan into action. Kendrick knows he's about to go on attack, likely committing multiple sins, which will need forgiveness from God. If you pay attention to the way he delivers these lyrics, he's deliberately singing in a very ugly, offbeat, non-sonically pleasing way.
God,
wait, that's how I describe Drake singing. What are you talking about, bro?
But
I seen this part.
But he is singing it differently than Kendrick would normally put a verse, put some stuff together.
I feel you, but I'm kind of offended. I like this form of, I thought it was on some spiritual deep, you know what I'm saying? Some wade in the water type shit. And what, but you like the way Dre sang. All right, what's the dirt? Continue.
This singing style reflects Kendrick's internal chaos. He's holding some guilt as a dark side of him is about to emerge. It's like he's saying, like, I'm sorry, God, like ahead of time. I'm sorry, but I gotta do this.
There's opportunity when living with loss. I discover myself would not fall short.
Some people thought that this meant Kendrick was worried about losing to Drake, and if he did, he'd learn something from it. But I don't think Kendrick even considered.
I never thought about it. I knew exactly what he was saying when he was talking about that shit.
The possibility of losing this battle. I mean, let's be real here. He had this whole
Them was Drake guzzlers that came up with that bullshit. This nigga was never worried about that
thing mapped out. I believe even at this point, he knew he had a winning strategy. Like, he knew he was going to win this thing. I feel that Kendrick knows that he's about to unleash a beast that we haven't seen before, and he's hinting at an internal struggle. When you think about it, Kendrick doesn't have any music in his catalog that resembles the subject matter on these diss tracks. I think the loss that he's talking about is he's about to lose control of himself, right? He's about to go against everything he stands for, like his faith. However, being a man of God, he knows that the Lord will forgive him. And he knows that going through with this thing will offer an opportunity for even more growth.
Raise my hands to a fallen sky. I fantasize me jumping planets, immortalized. I correspond.
So A Fallen Sky is basically an aftermath of a disaster, and it's here where Kendrick is daydreaming about the results of the war. He dreams of jumping planets and becoming immortalized as he's fantasizing about how a victory over Drake would cement his name in the hip-hop history books. And Kendrick's a rapper's rapper. Like, he's a hip-hop guy. And a lot of our legends had beefs, right? So I'm sure he's thought about adding a beef to his resume. He had to. These thoughts are so strong for Kendrick that they overpower his own faith, and it's here where he really decides that he needs to go through with it. He truly confirms this when he says, I correspond, meaning he needs to fulfill this fantasy. So I feel like he's daydreaming about like destroying Drake and getting him out of here and how that'll feel, and then he snaps out of it. And he says to himself, I got to do this. I got to go through with it. I correspond.
3 angels watching me all the time.
Kendrick claims that he has 3 angels watching him. And for anyone who's familiar with Christianity, you will be well aware of Michael, Gabriel, and Raphael. These are the 3 main angels chosen by God, and each angel represents something different. Given the fact that Kendrick knows he's about to embark on a journey that's testing his faith, he knows that these 3 angels are with him for guidance on the mission. And guys, he pretty much confirms this by bringing up some of these angels later on in the track. Outside of this...
What G Wiz? I thought he was talking about Whitney and the 2 kids. G Wiz.
Biblical reference, in 2013, Kendrick lost 3 of his close friends, Chad, Pup, and Braze. He mentions these guys on multiple songs, but on a YG record, he makes reference to all 3 of them.
I got a bad car, they killed Braze, they killed Chad, my pick on me, Pup.
From what I could gather, he was really close with all 3 of these young men, so it's very possible that the 3 angels is with them is these guys too.
Put my children to sleep with a prayer, then close my eyes. Definition of peace.
So coming off his Euphoria disc, Kendrick painted Drake as a deadbeat dad.
That's whole shit. I got a son to raise, but I can see you don't know nothing about that.
Kendrick states that Drake is not instilling the same family values as he is, and in this line, he confirms that putting his kids to sleep with a prayer gives him 100% peace. This is all he seems to need. With Drake's kid, it's almost like he wants them to be just as famous as he is, like almost like the Kardashians' kids or something, right? Where he's all up in the interviews, he's in the music videos, he's all over social media. Whereas Kendrick, you're hard pressed to find even a photo of his kids. It's just 2 different parenting styles, we could say at a minimum.
Tell me who gon' stop me. I come from love.
Kendrick makes a reference to himself as he moves with love, strong morals, and integrity. And by living this way, he feels unstoppable. In contrast, as we heard on Euphoria, he doesn't feel like Drake has the same values at all. So in Kendrick's mind, this is like a battle of good versus evil.
Estelle, cover my heart, then open me up.
So Kendrick refers to someone by the name of Estelle. Now, it's not 100% confirmed, but this appears to be his grandmother. And when claiming that she covers his heart, he's alluding to her offering him protection. And I really tried to confirm who she is in relation to Kendrick. I went through his family tree, or I tried to. Very private. Like Drake's family tree, you can trace back to the 1800s, but Kendrick's is on lock and key. Like there's nothing there.
Damn.
When it comes to Estelle, he's mentioned her before.
You worked for a CIA. You sure this nigga didn't work with y'all? The hell?
He tracked it back to the 1800s.
My gosh, let's keep going.
Broken when Estelle to say goodbye.
There's also the fact that during Coachella, he had her name on his custom boots, where it clearly reads Estelle Oliver. Estelle Oliver on his mother's side. So I believe this is his grandmother.
Remember when picked up a pen, lyrics that I can trust, timid soul, staring in the mirror, asking where I was from.
Kendrick appears to be reminiscing on a simpler time. When he first picked up the pen, he didn't have much to prove, but it also seems like he didn't have a lot of confidence. It's suggested in the previous line that Estelle helped open him up, possibly helping him come out of his shell. And by all accounts, he was a very shy child, which really isn't that uncommon for these artsy type of kids. Like, they tend to be more withdrawn, right? And Kendrick himself once shared a story of just how shy he was. There was a math question that I knew the answer to, but I was too scared to say it. And then this little chick said the answer, and it was the right answer, my answer. That bothers me still to this day, being scared of failure. And from his past lyrics, we know that his
This further lets you know not to fuck with a nigga like that. He's still holding on to this little girl just getting 2 + 2 right. Damn. What?
Damn. I ain't gonna lie, man. Kendrick got me ready to step my life up, bro. I gotta be more disciplined out here.
I'm gonna wake up tomorrow morning and do what I'm supposed to actually be doing. Let's see. Damn.
grandmother had a huge impact on the entire family.
Ever since grandma died, everyone parted ways, argue on holidays.
He even said that all those Grammys that he won, when he won all those in a row, he said those are all at her house.
My 7 trophies is at my granny's in heaven's arms.
And he did say when she passed away, he was heartbroken.
Grandma said I get some Jordans for my grades. That's my baby. When she died, my heart broke 100 ways.
So when he was younger, it seems clear that this woman had a huge impact on his life.
I know this type of power is gonna cost, but I live in circadian rhythms of a shooting star.
Kendrick recognizes that he's asking a lot from the Lord while on this journey. Earlier in the verse, we heard him dream about becoming immortalized. He understands that the type of power that God has blessed him with comes with a cost. And to me, this first part of the verse here has a lot of references to God and religion. And in terms of Christianity, a shooting star means that God is with you. He's guiding you. Now, as far as the circadian rhythm line, let's look at this piece by piece. A circadian rhythm is the internal process in the human body that regulates when you sleep and when you wake up, and it's all linked to the Earth's rotation. Now, a shooting star is a streak of light in the sky caused by a meteoroid burning up as it enters into the Earth's atmosphere. It's very fast, but a brilliant phenomenon. By combining these ideas, Kendrick could be suggesting that, like a shooting star, his life or moments in his life are intense but fast. Plenty of meteoroids remain in space, and only some are destined to enter the Earth's atmosphere and become shooting stars. Kendrick doesn't want to be another rock floating through space. He wants to make a lasting impact with his art, but he recognizes that he has a limited time on Earth to make this happen. He lives by his own rhythm, one that is unique compared to the typical predictable cycles most people experience. The life that he lives has intense, brilliant moments that stand out against the regular circadian rhythm. Coming off his previous line, this likely reflects his own impact on culture, where his presence is powerful and influential.
The mannerisms of Raphael, I can heal and give you art.
Coming off the last line, Kendrick dishes out a triple entendre. Firstly, he refers to Raphael Urbino, a famous Italian artist who is ironically one of the big three artists that is responsible for curating a style of European art called mannerism. Secondly, Kendrick is talking about Raphael the Angel, which was one of the three angels that was referenced earlier, and Raphael is known for being a protector and healer. Lastly, Kendrick pulls qualities from both Raphaels by 1, providing people with genuine art, in this case music, and 2, his music acts as therapy for a lot of people and helps to heal them.
Look, all right. Every once in a while he talk about, I couldn't authenticate, his mom's last name, or I can only guess that the shooting star. No, nigga, with that last shit, you talk to Kendrick. You got Kendrick number, don't you? You talk to him on a regular basis. Let's continue. No, what you gonna say?
I'm about to say, is it because that looks like Raphael the Ninja Turtle? If he make a reference to Raphael the Ninja Turtle,
I'm done. I don't even want to watch the rest of the video no more, dude. If they tie in Ninja Turtles into this, now he said triple, so I think he done. But if he be like, "Oh, hold up, there's more," I'm gonna be like, "Nah, nigga, no."
And of course, last but not least, and this one went over everyone's heads, Raphael the Ninja Turtle. I'm fucking with you guys. I made that one up. He's just my favorite turtle, so I put top.
I was about to be so done with this whole video. I'm like, look, guys, tune in for part 2. I gotta go get some sleep.
Need to get them in there.
Where did they come up with this stuff? But the industry's cooked as I pick the carcass apart.
So I look at this line very different from everyone else, and I'm not saying I'm right, but just hear me out. Kendrick says that the industry is cooked, and what I think he means by this is that the industry is a facade. Record labels are cooking the books and inflating the numbers. These labels are desperate and will do anything to give the illusion that their product is in high demand. By picking the carcass apart, I feel Kendrick is alluding to exposing even more industry secrets, as we heard exactly how he felt about it on Euphoria.
And fuck the industry too.
And I think what I'm saying makes even more sense on the next line.
If somebody's lying, I can see the vibes on act. Even he looking compromised. Let's peel the layers back.
So many people have accused academics of being on Drake's payroll and being on the record label's payroll. Now, it's no secret that record labels have been working with influencers, podcasters, streamers, and TikTok dancers to help with sales. However, it's even beyond sales because some of these guys like Aiden Ross and Kai Cenat seriously have the power to shape how an artist is perceived. Drake is UMG's golden boy, and I feel like Kendrick is insinuating that much like how they cook the books for their artist, the industry is crooked and manipulative, and they'll throw as many resources at this thing as possible to protect Drake's name.
Let's peel the layers back.
It's here where Kendrick appears to be threatening to expose more of these secrets as he plans to peel the layers back, which is something that Pusha said to Drake during their beef.
We just gonna peel it back layer by layer.
Now, I've been watching Academics from the very beginning, and he's a well-documented Drake super fan. I think he just loves Drake. It's his favorite artist. I don't think he's paid off or anything. I just think he's a massive Drake fan.
Ain't no brownie points.
I like how he didn't call him a flatfoot Drake dick glizzler.
Will be in your chest, harassing ant. Fucking with good people, make good people go to back.
Kendrick makes reference to Drake's trolling antics from earlier on in the beef. Shortly after dropping the Push-Ups track, Drake decided to antagonize Kendrick's manager Ant by posting 2 pictures. Kendrick continues to paint Drake as the bad guy and bully in the situation by insinuating that Drake is picking easy targets. Ant is not a rapper and isn't known for causing issues with anyone, and because Kendrick is close with Ant, he's a good person to defend him. And remember on Euphoria, Kendrick said that he would inherit the beef for Pharrell, who, by all accounts, I believe is a pretty good dude.
Conspiracies about cash, dog. That's not.
We gotta do a video about Pharrell. And some of y'all not gonna like it. It'll be on the Patreon. Let's continue.
Even the leak.
So, coming off the last line about messing with good people, Kendrick references Drake's bullying tactics against The Weeknd's manager, Cash. A lot of people thought that Cash could have been the mole that was feeding Kendrick information, but he confirms here that this is not the source of the leak. But I think the line actually works in another way also. Conspiracies about Cash Dog also perfectly ties into Drake's claims about Kendrick and Top Dog, where Drake stated on Push-Ups that the label was extorting Kendrick and taking 50% of the profit.
Find the Jews like Cash Dog. I just need you to think.
Kendrick really starts to play with Drake's head as he's asking Drake to think a little bit harder about who the mole could be. He makes a reference to Cash Doll, who was once robbed for $500,000 in jewelry. It would make a lot more sense if we could find out that it was someone close to Cash Doll that took this jewelry. But in order to do that, someone would need to watch all of her interviews.
It was around the time I lost a whole jewelry box full of jewelry in LA. Somebody stole it from me.
Oh, I remember that. You went right. Yep. Okay.
Yeah, and it hurted it hurted.
Because you didn't lose it, somebody took it.
Yes,
somebody stole it. So that's somebody you trusted.
Yeah.
But it's not just about the items too, right? It's also about the people that you have around you. Because that's also a warning call.
So Kendrick has clearly been paying attention, and the fact that it was someone inner circle that had a hand in taking his jewelry, this line just gained even more depth.
Find the Jews like Cash Dog. I just need you to think.
Damn.
Wow.
Tough line, man. You got to say, it is.
Wow.
Now, I don't want to feed too much into this Ebony Prince character.
Shout out to Ebony Prince for keeping a bunch of motherfuckers up for like 38 hours straight, waiting for updates. Wow, that was a crazy. I think that's the closest to what I think a crackhead probably experienced during the early days of crackheadism.
From Twitter. But it is definitely interesting given the fact that he posted a bunch of jewelry and proof of receipts of alleged jewelry that Drake purchased. So, I mean, this could very well be in reference to all that. No one can confirm. It's all really weird.
Are you finally ready to play? Have you ever? Let's see.
Kendrick continues to turn up the heat and references his lyrics from Euphoria.
Have you ever played? Have you ever? Okay, nigga, let's play.
Now he really starts to mess with Drake's head.
Have you ever thought that OVO is working for me?
Kendrick,
hey, I be saying that randomly, dude. Speaking of I just be saying like, have you ever thought of was working for me? I'll just be saying this shit.
Cleverly attempts to make Drake question all those around him by suggesting that someone close to him is not really on his side.
Fake bully, I hate bullies. You must be a terrible person. Everyone inside your team is whispering that you deserve it.
So pretty self-explanatory. Kendrick continues to paint Drake as the bad guy and implies that even his own team are preying on his downfall, claiming that he deserves everything that's coming.
Can't Tootsie slide about it. This one is just gonna resurface.
Kendrick references Drake's #1 smash, Tootsie Slide. This was a track that had everyone dancing during the summer of 2020, which is something that Drake is really good at doing.
Left foot up, right foot slide.
I pride myself in never have heard this song in my life. By the grace of God. I seen that dude Shiggy dance to it like in front of a car, but I don't remember hearing the actual song.
Now, Tootsie Slide conveniently dropped just 3 months after a video surfaced of Drake where he's kissing a 17-year-old girl on stage. The clip took the internet by storm.
Perv.
Every time I see that clip, it get worse. I guess I never paid attention. He kissed her on both sides of the cheek, the forehead, and the mouth.
I didn't. What? All I need to hear was, "How old are you? You're 17? No, damn it."
Yeah, and then he was like, "How can you be so thick or whatever?" Like, bruh, the fuck.
Dude is a freaky ass nigga. This is a 69 guy.
As Drake already had a past that raised a lot of eyebrows, and it was just 5 months before that where Drake paid $350K to a SA case, which was something that Kendrick referenced on Euphoria.
Have you ever paid $500,000 like to an open case?
These were big stories at the time. Like, a lot of people talked about this shit. It was not a good look for Drake, so he drops this massive hit. And of course, that helps deaden the noise, right? However, when it comes to this beef, Kendrick seems to be saying that even if Drake pumps out another big hit, the damage that he's about to inflict in this war will never be forgotten. No matter what Drake says or does, he's not going to get away from what Kendrick's about to do.
Hey guys, here's some money. Yeah, I'm a perv. I hope this makes me look good. Here you go.
I mean, this is probably true. Not Like Us was a #1 record. Look what he was saying on there. Like, Drake couldn't even get away from the Ghostwriters shit. Like, this new stuff's pretty heavy. Like, it's gonna be hard to shake.
It was fun until you start to put money in the streets. They lost money because they came back with no receipts.
Kendrick insinuates that Drake is paying people to find dirt on him. Now, Kendrick, who lives a very low-key and private life, claims that Drake wasted his money since there's no dirt to be found. And it's also clever because, you know, you can't get your money back from a store without the receipt.
I'm sorry that I live a boring.
I thought he was gonna mention this. Did you hear? It was a dude. I forgot the YouTuber. He went on the interview, but he was like, "Yeah, I'm the nigga that finessed Drake." Drake was saying it now like 100 racks. I told that nigga it's BS.
I didn't see that.
I don't know. I gotta see exactly what he said. He definitely said he got the money and didn't say shit, or he told him some bullshit, and it was on some like. It was. I think it was more of he was like, "Send me the money and then I'll tell you" type shit, and then he just didn't respond and shit. I think that's really what it was.
That's hilarious.
Like he connected to Kendrick and everything. I don't know how deep he is connected, but he was just like, "Yeah, I finessed that bitch ass nigga," and yo, I'm gonna try to find that video and send it to you.
That's hilarious.
Life, I love peace, but war ready if the world is ready to see him bleed.
Kendrick claims that the world is ready to see him take Drake's head off, and when we think about this beef, it seems like this was really the case. Kanye even said that all the rappers were excited to eliminate Drake, and everyone from the casual hip-hop fan to people that didn't even listen to the genre were chiming in to tear Drake down. I mean, it was at the point where people were hating on Drake and they didn't even know why. Like, they'd be like, I'm a fucking metalhead, but fuck Drake.
The Elohim KTW.
So the word Elohim can actually be found in the scripture of multiple religions.
I like how he short way corrected him on how to pronounce it. Try to low key.
In Christianity, it can be found in the Old Testament, and in Judaism, it's used in the Hebrew Bible.
Or maybe Kendrick said it right. I don't know nothing about how to pronounce them kind of words. If whoever said it right, let me know in the comments below which one said it the right way.
However, in both religions, it's recognized as a word for God. Kendrick could be using this here as a word of common ground between the two religions to state that regardless of the faith, he is the God. And in the exact same context, he uses this word on Family Ties, which is a record that I always thought was full of shots at Drake.
The Elohim, the rebirth. Before you get to the Father, you gotta holler at me first, bitch.
Now, the KTW thing is cryptic as it gets. Like, I cannot figure it out. I look for days and days. None of the theories that I saw make sense to me. I think it's something that only Drake is going to understand. But if one of you guys know, or you think you know, leave it in the comments. It drove me crazy.
That's why I rock with Dirk too, man. Because if Dirk don't know something, he tell you like, bro, I don't know what that is. I'll try to look.
Facts. Or he just trying to throw us off the scent that him and Kendrick talk every other day.
These images trouble you. Know the wires in your circle should puzzle you.
Kendrick continues with the mental gymnastics. He
gonna pop up with a video for that KTW. One day he gonna be like, guys, after many years, and I finally figured it out, and it's gonna be a 4-hour video.
Drake is someone that is tossing and turning to figure out who the mole could be in his camp. He does this by referencing a wire in his circle, which is something that rats will wear when gathering information for the feds. And this is going over all of our heads because clearly the line is layered. There's something there. It's very eerie. It's very cryptic. There's something we're missing.
If you were street smart, then you would have caught that your entourage is only to hustle you.
Kendrick comes in with a bit of a cultural reference here. Drake isn't from the streets, but over the years has surrounded himself with street people. It's not uncommon in hip-hop for a rapper to have an entourage of people who are only around for their own benefit. So Kendrick's saying, like, Drake is so ignorant that he believes that these guys really like him when they're just using him, and Kendrick's a little wiser to it. Like, he's seen this play before.
100 niggas that you got on salary, and 20 of them want you as a casualty.
Kendrick makes reference to the people on Drake's payroll. Now, this could be a reference to anything from the people that signed to his label, the team of writers that he's employed, streamers like Aiden Ross or Kai, his mob ties connection with Jay Prince, or any of the other street connections that he may have established over the years. And he's saying 20% of these guys want you out of here. They want you gone.
You definitely know the OVO Sam motherfuckers want them gone. He ain't released shit from them niggas. Party next door. That's it. That one other person. Yeah, they plotting on you, boy.
And one of them is actually next to you, and two of them is practically tired of your lifestyle. Just don't got the audacity to tell you. But
now, I'll be honest, guys. I'm not going to sit here and pretend to know who Kendrick's talking about here. Is it 21 Savage? Is it 40? Is it Yachty? Is it Chubbs? Who really knows? It does seem very specific.
What the fuck
and
was
Kendrick
that?
says this.
Hold the fuck
You gotta rewind that back,
bro. Because I was like, he said, Yachty, hey, shout out to him for the super duper disrespect of using that clip, though.
Well, I remember, so Yachty did have a song called Oprah's Bank Account where he was talking about how he wanted to have bread like Oprah. And I do believe that might be where that's from.
Let's see. Hold on. Let's see.
It's reference to the people on Drake's payroll. Now, this could be a reference to anything from the people that signed to his label.
Baka not nice. Why is he around?
The team of writers that he's employed, streamers like Aiden Ross or Kai, his mob ties connection with Jay Prince, or any of the other street connections that he may have established over the years. And he's saying 20% of these guys want you out of here. They want you gone.
And one of them is actually next to you, and two of them is practically tired of your lifestyle. Just don't got the audacity to tell you. But
now, I'll be honest, guys. I'm not going to sit here and pretend to know who Kendrick's talking about here. Is it 21 Savage? Is it 40? Is it Yachty?
Bruh, that got to be from that Oprah song.
All right,
That's a wild picture, bro.
I give it a pass because it was art related or whatever. But yeah, this is crazy.
Why would he use that picture? He definitely.
I fucks with I ain't gonna lie. We an hour and a half deep in the song. One song, nigga. My brain is fried. But Dirt McGirt, shout out to you.
Is it Chubbs? Who really knows? It does seem very specific, and Kendrick says this with such conviction, but at the same time, this could also just be a war tactic to get inside Drake's head even further to make him question absolutely anyone that's close to him. It's a crazy angle, but no one knows for sure who he's talking about.
That was my first thought. Just like, yo, he could be telling the truth, but just imagine you at war with somebody and be like, yeah, nigga, hey, have you ever thought that OVO was working for me? And about 30 of the motherfuckers want you dead, and the motherfucker you confide in the most don't even like the way you living.
Drake was having beefs with everybody he was cool with for this last 3 months, nigga.
I wouldn't trust nobody, nigga. I'd be hella paranoid. Why are you looking at me like that? I am like you. Let's continue.
Let me tell you some game, cause I can see you, my little homie. You playing dirty with propaganda, hit blow up on you.
Coming off the last line where Kendrick claimed that people close to Drake don't have the heart to tell him the truth,
damn.
Kendrick claims that he's about to give some advice to Drake as he can see through his dirty propaganda and suggest that it's going to blow up in his face. This could be in reference to the narratives that Drake has been planting about his failed relationship with Whitney, the 50-50 split rumors with TDE, using streamers like Aiden and Kai to help with public perception, or cooking the numbers.
You're playing nerdy with Zach Bia and Twitter bots.
So remember what I mentioned earlier about Kendrick's thoughts on the music industry when it comes to cooking the numbers. Popular influencer Zach Bia hosted an online DJ segment on his Instagram during COVID-19. The show garnered a huge amount of traffic, and he even premiered Drake's hit Tootsie Slide.
It's about to be the hottest song in the world. Song of the summer.
No sequence.
What Kendrick is trying to get across here is that Drake uses every resource imaginable to manipulate the masses. He drives this home even more with the reference to Drake using Twitter bots during the beef, which is something else that he was accused of doing.
But your reality can't hide behind Wi-Fi.
Kendrick claims that what he's about to reveal about Drake will be so extreme that all his old tactics won't work anymore. This ties perfectly into what he said earlier about not being able to Tootsie Slide his way out of the situation by using someone like Zach Bia for internet games.
Your little means is losing steam. They figured you out.
Kendrick claims that Drake's Instagram memes and the trolling that he was doing is losing steam, which is 100% correct. In hindsight, all the childish bullshit that Drake was doing online only made him look even more ridiculous when this beef came to a close.
Not ridiculous, what's the dirt? Like a bitch ass nigga. I know you can't say it, but I'm gonna say it for you. Let's continue.
It really annoys me because when Drake went against Meek, he was quiet. He let the music talk. And now in this beef, he acted like Meek. He had the Twitter fingers. He was doing all these memes, and it just made him look ridiculous.
The first opinion.
Bitch ass nigga.
This is not convincing. I need a new route.
So again, back to the streamers, influencers, podcasters, and media personalities. Many said that UMG and Drake were paying these people off, forcing opinions. It's a little bit ridiculous. I mean, even people were saying that I was paid off by Drake. Tons of people. It's like if anyone says anything good about him, they're on some sort of payroll. Like maybe he's doing some things right. Maybe some people agree with him.
You know? No, that's not it. And you just gotta say that this glimpse, I'm starting to see the real you now. What's the dirt? Are you on the payroll? He trying to throw us off by saying this because there's nothing good to say about Aubrey's.
You know what I mean?
It's time that
I'm just playing you guys.
You look around on who's around you before you figure that you're not alone. Ask what Mike would do.
So in the first line, Kendrick is advising Drake to take a good look at his team, assess the situation, and start questioning who's really loyal here. He then suggests that Drake is not alone with his OVO team, meaning that someone from outside is always present. I mean, this whole planting seeds of doubt in Drake's brain about his crew is like a huge angle in the latter part of this record. To end things off, Kendrick tells Drake to think about what Mike would do, which is definitely a reference to Michael Jackson, as he also quotes his song, You're Not Alone. What's even more interesting is the fact that R. Kelly wrote this record for MJ, and we all know about R. Kelly and what he was into. Another MJ flip, and again, this one is fire. Finally, we also got to consider that MJ's personal doctor, someone who he was obviously close with, was proven guilty in court of killing MJ with a cocktail of medications. So again, Drake needs to be careful of who's around him because they might just be responsible for his downfall. And I got to be honest with you guys.
I was really hoping he was going to say death, but I guess downfall is the less morbid way to go and more humane.
This record was extremely difficult to break down. It is very cryptic. The way that it's written is mind-boggling. I know I missed a lot of shit because I know there's a lot of stuff in here that Drake is only going to get and no one else will. But in saying that, we got Family Matters coming up next. And that's an amazing record, and I feel like it got overshadowed. I feel like a lot of stuff got missed, and I'm really, really excited to break down Family Matters.
Look, we go watch the Family Matters. I'm on record for saying that I did. Family Matters did go. It was a Fed record. Okay, the second verse with the drill beat. But anyway, let us finish. We only got 60 seconds to go.
And that guy, What's the Dirt on YouTube?
Yeah. Okay, it was a commercial.
Yeah,
bro.
Hey,
oh my gosh,
that was an amazing breakdown. On a 1 to 10, I get that man a 9.999 with the line over it.
Yo, I'm giving a straight 10, bro. I'm talking about, man, like we spent a good 20 minutes just on the opening verse, on the verse that I didn't even think really had real disses in it. Come to find out, nothing but missiles,
bruh,
being thrown. All props to What's the Dirt. Wow, like that's real YouTubing right there. Like that's real investigative journalism. I know a lot of YouTubers don't like to be called journalists because journalists go to school for that term, but if you ain't a journalist, my boy, use a journalist. Fuck that shit. That was crazy. Or you work for the NSA or something, because this man, yo, I'm looking forward to we gonna go back and watch the Euphoria one for sure. I'm not sure that has he already done Meet the Grams? You ain't aware of that.
I'm not aware of that one yet.
We doing all this dude's videos because he just awakened me to it ain't nothing else to say, man. Shout out to I'm pretty sure if you watching us, you done already watched this, but I hope you liked our surprise of finding out the stuff that we didn't even know. If you haven't watched it, just go give him a view and a like on your own. Because matter of fact, let me go on to make sure I do that right now. He got 60,000 likes. Now he has 60,001 likes from us. Appreciate y'all for hanging out with us, man. We'll see y'all on the next one. Peace out.